Hello to all you business-savvy hamsters across the galaxy. When we talk about reliable currencies and strong assets, the dollar usually pops into everyone's head first, and for good reason. It powers global deals and still holds its spot as the world's top reserve currency. But hold on, friends. Don't jump to conclusions just yet. Times are shifting, and uncertainty has become part of the daily game. That's why in today's video, we're breaking it all down to see what's really happening behind the headlines. Get ready to zoom in on the big picture. Let's roll!
So how can USA owe money to everyone and still be the richest country in the world? Apparently the US is like this guy Chad who owes me money. But then I see his Instagram post on a yacht with supermodels. Hi Chad. So how does this scheme work? The USA will spend 6 trillion this year, but it only collects 5 trillion in taxes. So where does the US get the missing 1 trillion? It borrows dollars from countries all over the world. Countries have huge dollar savings because the global trade happens in dollars. When Japan sells this Toyota to Brazil, they get dollars. When China sells these shirts, they also get dollars. So let's say China now has $100 billion. If they leave it on the table, the inflation eats it. So China says we need to invest this in something safe. And the US says, oh, perfect. We're short on cash. Lend us your dollars and we'll pay you 4% interest per year. And in 10 years, we'll give you $100 billion back. So the US gives China this piece of paper called a government bond. It says, if you lend us $1,000 today, we'll pay you $40 a year of interest, and in 10 years, we'll return your $1,000. So why does China trust this pinky promise? Well, the US is like the House of Lannister. Everyone knows that Lannister always pays his debt. So USA is the safest possible investment. So every country in the world lends their dollars to the USA, and that's how the US national debt keeps growing. But this debt has become alarmingly high recently. The US now pays $1 trillion a year in interest to all these countries holding their bonds. That's like 25% of the entire federal budget. This can lead to a debt spiral and a massive inflation. Let me show you what that looks like. This is Tesla on a $10 billion bill from Yugoslavia, where I was born. And I remember my mother could buy just one egg with this note. So national debt is a good thing if it's under control. But as Tesla said, no machine can run forever on borrowed energy.
Wow, that was one of the clearest takes on global currency we've seen. The Game of Thrones comparison nailed it, because in a world full of shifting power dynamics, even something as solid as the dollar might face new challenges. With growing discussions around U.S. debt and possible inflation, some experts are starting to question long-held assumptions. Even the S&P 500, once seen as a rock, isn't immune to doubt. In times like these, awareness is your best asset. But don't worry, your fluffy friend is tracking the trends, so stay tuned, don't miss the new episodes, and keep those ears up. See you in the next one, and remember, hamsters are power, one for all and all for one.